Next question. This is a self-directed IRA LLC question. Can I take distributions from the LLC bank account? So let's first set the stage with this question. So a self-directed IRA LLC is used by folks that are not eligible to set up a solo 401k, or if they have retirement money that's not eligible to be rolled over to a solo 401k, specifically a Roth IRA. So you might not be self-employed, or you might not be eligible to set up a solo 401k because you are self-employed, but you have full-time W-2 non-owner, non-spouse employees working for your business. Or you have money in a Roth IRA. So funds that are in a Roth IRA are not eligible to be set up, not eligible to be rolled over to a solo 401k. So if you want to self-direct those funds, you would need to do it through a self-directed Roth IRA. And if you want to have checkbook control over the money, you would do that by investing the funds in that Roth IRA into a brand new LLC. So a Roth IRA LLC. So that means that the sole owner of that LLC is the Roth IRA. So the member of the LLC is your Roth IRA, and you are the manager. So ultimately, the funds are in an LLC bank account where you, as the manager, have checkbook control over those funds. So the question is whether or not can I take distributions from that LLC bank account? So again, this is a bank account for an LLC that's owned by your IRA, whether it's a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. I'm retired and thinking of setting up an IRA LLC. So it sounds like the person is not eligible to set up a solo 401k because they're retired. And they wish to invest in real estate rental properties to generate retirement income. So can I take distributions directly from the LLC bank account? So number one, with our IRA LLC product, right, whether it's your traditional IRA or a Roth IRA LLC, you're certainly going to be able to invest in real estate, right? And it could be rental properties that are generating a stream of rental income. So that means that the property is owned in the name of the LLC. So the tenants are writing a check to that LLC to pay the rent, and the funds, like the income and expenses, goes back into that LLC bank account. So here the question is, well, I'm the manager of that LLC bank account. It's owned by my IRA. Can I just take a distribution from that bank account, right? I know I'm going to want to take distributions periodically from my IRA to pay for my living expenses, for example. And the answer to the question is no. The distributions must be taken from the IRA account. So your IRA is invested in an LLC. It wouldn't be appropriate or acceptable to take a distribution from the investment from the LLC. The funds would need to flow back to the IRA, and then you would take the distribution at the IRA level. And it would be reported like any distribution from an IRA as a taxable distribution, right? You could include the amount of that taxable distribution on your taxes. You would get a 1099-R to report that distribution. So hopefully that helps. That's a great question. It's a common question.